I mean, considering
Well, yeah,
blurry.
that was 14 inches of snow on that day, too.
Wow, that's a lot.
And if you go to the BFRO.net database, you'll see me on there, and that's on
What's your
there,
name?
too. Daniel Smith.
Oh,
They
that's
call me
easy to
Daniel
remember.
Boone. Boone's me.
We met Daniel Boone today.
Got a Zoom?
And what did you say your website is, or what?
Just go to
Oh, this is the guy that asked some questions earlier.
BFRO.net.
Oh, .net.
And that's their
Okay.
database, and that's all reports is there. And you go to West Virginia, click on it. Go to Randolph County, click on it. Then look for tracks at Spring, found at Spring near Glady, West
You guys got
Virginia.
that?
And once you get there, you'll see. I'll show you the picture. You'll see on my other camera here in a minute. But I'll zoom this up.
Okay, BFRO, I know that.
That's the Bigfoot Research Organization. He's got red hair.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Oh, my.
crap.
That's a really good
Now
picture.
look at his ear. Do you see his ear and eye?
Are they mainly that color? Have you seen black
They're
ones
different
too?
colors.
I got
Oh my
blonde
gosh.
Bigfoot
Why for
off
her?
of a female.
That's a
And I know
really
it's a
good.
female because a man seen her. She walked right in front of his car. And she
Do you
has
think they
blonde.
look gray as they age?
Finding
Yes,
Bigfoot
I
came up
found
with
them
in
on
9
Google
years.
Earth, and they're
Bet you
gray.
won't tell Bobo that.
No, I won't.
Oh yeah, a big female with a baby.
I love Bobo, but I'm not going to tell him that.
What's that?
That's a better picture than they come up with
Yeah,
in
they
9
don't.
years.
Let's see.
Yeah.
They
This
don't
dude
really get
found
them, like,
Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, that
His
right
website should
there.
be called Found Bigfoot.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That one right there.
Is that on your website?
Yeah, it's on the BFRO site. Yeah.
That is?
Can you tell me what the website is again? Just
It's the
It's hard to
BFRO.net.
tell.
That's their database.
That's a really good picture. I mean,
Once you get there, you go to West Virginia, then you go to Randolph County, then you go and look for tracks found at Spring near Glady, and you'll see. I'll show you the picture.
and you'll find this guy's pictures.
Is this
Pardon?
is this
This
the
guy's
side?
the
Is
real
this
That's the
deal.
side of his
That's what I
face.
thought.
But I'll tell you what.
can't figure out
I'll
which
tell you
one.
what
Look at this
happened
lady.
right
She's all
here.
serious.
Here's what happened. I was looking that way
Yeah.
when I walked. The road's up here.
Okay.
And it's a forced road, and they don't plow it in the winter. So I was walking out around there, and I was kind of looking that direction because there's a point of the mountain road that I've been getting wood knocks and calls
So you were
from.
already sort of looking over there.
So I was
for that.
kind of looking that way, but out of the corner of my eye, down here, behind the pine tree, I thought it was a bear coming out.
She's a non-believer.
But the first thing I
Totally
seen
listen.
was a big old
Because
leg and a
we do a lot of funny stuff.
and I knew it wasn't a bear. And when he stepped out, he already knew it was there.
Yeah, I've heard
He
that they
turned-
know before you know them.
He turned right there in that open place you see, stood there with his arms down, weaving, looking
you got a
right at
good view.
Oh, I looked at him face on.
Oh my.
You know what I mean?
gosh.
And time I got the camera out, now see this tree here?
Yeah.
I was going to get him when he popped out the other side because I was
Yeah,
ready.
right.
Well, he turned there
He
and
didn't
went
do
right
that.
down over the
So
mountain.
he went straight back, so you could, like,
You bastard.
block
My brother asked me, he says, why didn't you go over there and track him up, because we're hunters.
Yeah.
I said, would you? He said, no. I
And there's your answer.
said, okay, you got your own. You
They can get away quicker,
Yeah.
though, you know.
Sure.
Have you seen?
You want me to zoom in?
I
on?
have never seen a Bigfoot. That's why I'm here.
Have you gone on any of these?
I am a 10-year paranormal investigator. Like I used to do ghost hunting.
Yes.
So Bigfoot, like
Okay.
real stuff that you can see and
Right.
touch,
Right.
is not for me. But the stuff that I can be like,
He's got red hair.
totally real. Yeah,
And I'll
that's
show
me.
you what you'll find on
I
that
had one
date.
experience with that. I don't want any more. Okay.
Well,
Oh,
tell
he
me.
found-
I
look
would
at
love
here.
to talk to you about it.
He found it already.
What is that?
Look at here, he found it already.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Okay, this is
There
your
it is.
website?
There's the
There's the
picture.
guy.
There's the one.
No, it's
yeah.
the BFRO database.
Oh, that's the
.net.
database.
See? Yeah, see.
The sightings by region, West Virginia, Randolph, it's the top
That's
one.
a really good picture.
Yeah,
Okay,
Tell you what.
yeah, that's a
Thank
good.
you.
That's really
Thank you.
But
That's me. That's if you want to go. Northern Kentucky, yeah.
Where?
Yeah, we're up in Cincinnati. Well, we're in Hebron. But
Yeah.
just outside
Another
Cincinnati.
card?
Absolutely, 110%.
well, I'm going to see what else I got on.
I came prepared. We do a podcast / YouTube show where we like to talk about the paranormal, but we do it in kind of a light way.
Okay.
So you're not jumping into it talking about the technicals. That's his job.
Yeah.
Is to talk about the real technical stuff. We like
Right.
to talk about the light, keep it light, keep it joking,
Right,
keep it
right,
fun.
right. Yeah.
So
This thing's over.
Is that female Bigfoot?
That was my
Plus,
dog.
we talk about paranormal, like ghosts, aliens, stuff like that too. But you can choose. You can decide which one you want. So,
Don't you pretty much see the boots? You can tell a breast.
I'm sorry. I've been gaining a lot of weight. All right. I'm about 30 pounds overweight. All right.
Moobs, man boobs.
Here's
So
there's
on
a
the
cast I made.
On the male, can you see the? You can tell it's a male because, like on a female, you would see the
female, you
breast.
see the breast.
But the male, you just don't see it, so you
Well,
don't see
if
anything
you
below.
look, you can. But
Okay.
man, when you're standing there and they're
Well, you're
looking
probably
at
not.
you,
Yeah.
you don't take
I didn't know
time.
if they had hair long enough. You know.
So if I had to ask you real quick, how
Here's
does a
one I
Bigfoot?
got. Now look at this. It looks like it's got claws on it.
I got a good question. All right.
See
Let me
there?
jump in.
wanna
Let
see
me
that
jump in
too.
next. I got you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I got the question that I'm sure you guys are all
does.
wondering. How does a Bigfoot mate?
How
Is
they
it
make
missionary? Is it like a doggy style? Is it like a...
all the reports that I got that said they actually seen them doing that was doggy style.
doggy?
But I got some recordings of them in the state of mating, and that female makes enough noise, you know that's what they're doing.
Okay.
They're not, you know, they're not arguing or fighting. That's what they're doing.
And it's doggy style. confirmed.
Well, I don't know if they do that all the time that way,
They mate
but
with humans. What?
Is that a thing?
well,
I don't know.
Out in around Mount St. Helens,
Yeah.
the Indians out there.
Yeah.
They claim that if a female has a Bigfoot had a baby and aborted it or lost it, they would actually come into the camp and steal their babies
Really?
and take them. They wouldn't take them to eat them; they'd take them to
To
raise
raise them.
them.
No, that would be
Because I know the Indians believe in them big time.
Well, yeah. Well, the Shawnee, they're at home, you know.
Raised
We
instead
got
of
a
raised by
mountain
wolves, you're raised by
range
Bigfoot.
of the Alleghenies.
Is
Well,
that a thing?
And you wouldn't have to go to school.
We'd have to go to school.
You never
In the civilian world, or what do you want to call it, people think you're nuts.
oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wearing this t-shirt, I went in Walmart and I thought, people are going to think I'm nuts. And I've never seen one. I'm just very
Okay.
interested.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you want to see that?
Let's take a peek.
What is it?
The cat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did the whole thing. He was talking.
What's your megaphone for?
Well, I do. This is what I do calls with.
Can we hear a call?
Are you going to
Is
be
there
doing
a
the
way?
call
Okay.
outside?
No, they've already been doing that for half an hour.
Oh, darn.
Gosh.
I'll let them have all the glory.
Sure.
Okay, I would now need a picture
Let's see if
of
we can
that.
get a Bigfoot here to the. Can you imagine a Bigfoot coming to this
Oh,
festival?
yeah, actually coming here.
That's the trick. I bet
Yeah.
you can't do it.
Can't do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get a picture.
Now, old Wild Bill, that's on Mountain Monsters,
Yeah, huh?
he's crazy, but I let him autograph the back of this.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's his autograph on
Prove
the
it.
back. Wild Bill.
Oh, that's lovely.
He's a Marine.
Yeah.
That's great. Here, let me get the back of it too, so we know it works.
You know how he knows? He's a Marine. He talks about how he's a Marine. That's the only
Yeah,
reason you know.
yeah.
There you go.
And you know, people
Thanks.
like that, to me, I'm kind of skeptical on him when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You know why? Because if he talks it up too much, maybe he ain't a Marine.
Well, that's how you know if somebody saw something in Vietnam, right? That's the rule.
Yeah.
If somebody talks about Vietnam, it's not true.
Right.
Oh, you got the stick and everything.
Somebody talks about Bigfoot, it's not true, right? Ah! I almost got you.
You want me to hold it or just what's your strap? You get your strap swung out there and you won't get a picture.
Hey, it was awesome to meet you.
Same
This
here,
is an
buddy.
awesome thing. I'll tell you what.
Daniel
Hey,
Boone.
I'll tell you what. No,
Daniel Smith.
You know, I'm going to have a hard time getting you on Google. I'll tell you what. Shoot me an email, and I'd love to talk to you, and I'd love to hear more about your stories. I saw you. You were asking a question. We do a podcast and like a YouTube show. You know, at some point, I'd love to sit down and talk with you. No rush or anything
Right.
like that. But hopefully, we'll develop a relationship over email or something
Okay.
like that. We can.
Yeah, I'll shoot you an email.
I'd love to hear more about this. It's awesome.
Oh, I got stories. I document them. I got over 108 or something like that in the last year that people around home, and 2 or 3 told me some before I come down here. I mean, one guy last year deer hunting, had his deer rifle, and he was hunting on it's called Cheat Mountain. It's a high mountain, and it's got the same foliage as what you'd find up toward the Arctic Circle. It's real high, and there's a blister swamp on it before you drop off into the town of Bartow. And there's an old motel used to sit there on the right. Well, he was back in behind that in that blister swamp, and he lives over where they got the big astronomy ears to listen to heavens with. And he said, I was going through that brush, and he said the deer kept jumping up and running, from him. And he said there was an open place, and he said I walked out in that open place, and when I stepped out, he said in 30 feet of me, there stood about a 10-foot Bigfoot looking right at him. And he said it stood there just staring at him, not moving a muscle. And he said behind it in the brush, he could hear 2 or 3 other Bigfoot. They started breaking branches.
A whole fight club of Bigfoot.
Behind him.
Yeah.
And the big one just stood there, the big male. And he said it just stood there staring at him. And he said they were, you know how a bear will pop its mouth?
A little bit.
When they get nervous? Well, them things were doing the same thing. Popping their mouth and breaking branches. And he said that big one stood there looking at him like that, and he raised his rifle up and he zoomed it in to where he said I could see the pores in his skin. He said that thing looked just like you and I. And it stood there looking at me, and he said within a flash. He said I just like a blur. He said it went into the brush so fast, he said if I was going to shoot, I didn't even have time to pull the trigger.
Barely, yeah.
I mean, it going. But that was just this past fall.
So let me ask you this real quick. Do you think that the Bigfoot is more an animal, as in like a bear or whatever?
I sent that
or do you think it's paranormal? Just a little bit.
Well, I've heard that a lot. Paranormal. Paranormal.
Aliens, paranormal.
Well, I believe in
whatever.
UFOs because I've seen the UFOs. I haven't seen the aliens, but I've seen the UFOs lots of times. And I believe it or not, Jesus Christ more than I believe in anything.
Sure.
Because I happen to be a deacon at my church. But I believe what I see, not what I hear, what I see. UFOs. The Bigfoot I've seen, but I've never seen
Back to the car.
ghosts. I never seen werewolves. I've never seen the Mothman, whatever. I've never seen none of that. But if I'd see it, maybe I would believe it. I'm not a skeptic, though, on none of it. I respect everybody's decision on what they think they see, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And most people, they would not talk about it if they hadn't actually seen it. You know what I mean?
What's the point? Yeah.
Yeah, what's the point? But, well, I know we got a few that might stretch the truth, and do that. I don't stretch the truth. I mean, I've actually seen the things, I know the little ones.
Yeah.
When they're growing. I had a man that has a trail cam pic of one, and it's a little one, and it's got a black leathery face. Well, the one I seen up on Cheat, the little guy, and he wasn't much taller than us. When I first seen it, I thought it was a bear with a hump in his back because he was down like he was a football player with his hand down.
Sure.
And his face was looking right at me, but I couldn't see his face because we was moving in the vehicle. And he just all of a sudden stood up. When he stood up, he looked right at me.
And it was bipedal?
Oh, yeah, he stood up and he looked just like us, but hairy and slim. And boy, he turned and run, and just like a bullet out through the ferns he went just to get her. Well, me and my buddy, I told my buddy to stop the car, or the van. We jumped out and started chasing, trying to get close. Then I told him, whoa, Terry, stop. And he said, what? I said, what if Dad and Mom's out here waiting on him? I said, we don't want to run out there. So we went back to the van. But I've seen Other than that one, I've seen 4 others. And I mean, I've actually seen 2 or 3 of them close.
I gave you my business card, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love, I mean, you are a fantastic source of information. I would love to sit down and talk. I don't want to take all your time while we're here.
You ain't bothering my time here.
But I do want to beat you up about, and pick your brain a little bit more about those other experiences. I do want to give other people a chance to talk. Obviously, I know you're waiting for a question, and I'm sitting here, hogging all the questions. But yeah, I would love to sit down and talk with you. If you could shoot me an email, that would be fantastic. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it. Hey, thanks again.
Yep,
Tom Miller.
Tom Miller.
Yep.
Okay, Tom.
Daniel Boone, right?
Daniel Boone.
All right.
Smith's my name, but Daniel Smith, Daniel L. Smith. But
Daniel Boone sticks a little bit better.
Well, Dad's called me Boone all my life, and I got school buddies that don't even know my last name yet. I mean, they in the school we went to, it was a big school. They always called me Boone, Daniel Boone, because that's what I've been called all my life.
I'm sure I'll be able to find you online.
You'll find me somewhere. Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks again.
I'm on a lot of those things.
Right on.
Okay.
Well, we're in the same circle.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
There you have it. Bigfoot is real, according to Daniel Boone.